It is time now for Kara's Cures, and Mother's Day was just yesterday. So, moms out there, did you get what you really wanted? Was it just gifts, or maybe did you want some space, some alone time? I'm afraid to ask.
Joining us now with why that is such a great gift for mom is author and leadership coach Vanessa Loader. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
I think a lot of moms feel like, oh, that's not what I should ask for on Mother's Day, that I want space or to be alone. They might wrap it up in a spa day, but why is having that space so important for moms?
Yeah, it's such a great question. I mean, it's of vital importance that women really reclaim our private alone space, because we've been taught to take care of everyone else except for ourselves. Kids, partners, colleagues at work, they're always going to impinge with their requests and needs unless you're really alone. And then you can actually only take care of yourself. So
we have four of the some of the major talking points for the reasons why quiet time and space alone is good for you. Recharge is the first one.
Yes, recharge. So it's so important to be alone, because when you're only taking care of yourself and your needs, that's when you reflexively discover what you actually need to recharge. So you need that vital space alone to even figure out what you really want and need. And then the second thing is to heal and release. So sometimes when we have painful or difficult experiences, the last 2 years for everyone, we don't have the bandwidth to process or release that at the moment. So when a mother has silence and space, sometimes old pains and resentments or grief and anguish can come up that's ready to be cleared and let go. I know one mom who went through a real tragedy in the last year, and she said, Vanessa, even when my two little girls are watching a show in the other room and they're totally fine, I can't grieve when I know they're nearby. It's just not possible. So oftentimes it's really important to have that space to let old feelings come out.
I think it's so important because we're already taxed with so much to do that you think, I don't have time for alone time. But I'm somebody who definitely requires it and probably don't give it to myself enough. But when you ask for that, I guess, how do women make sure they're getting some alone time or some space so they can decompress? Because I think we feel guilty asking for it, or you think, well, that's just not in the cards.
Yes. Well, first of all, I've been trying to tell all the partners, the husbands out there, it doesn't need to be just on Mother's Day. Any day of the year, a woman will take it. You can pack her a bag with some snacks, maybe a water bottle, and just tell her to go. Or you and the kids leave the house and let her be alone. So if a partner actually helps a woman give herself permission, that's really useful. So all the partners out here who are hearing that, please do that for the lady in your life. The other thing that I try to remember is a lot of the research around how women have been in a patriarchal culture where we've been taught to take care of other people's needs. And I also think about my daughter and what I want to role model for her. And I want her to make sure she gets her needs met. So that helps me sometimes overcome the guilt and really think about, okay, I'm going to take some space for myself and show her that that's really important.
You say, the women should leave the home. Where should they go? What should they do? Should they be doing something specifically? Shopping, a spa? What should they do?
I like your other version where everyone else leaves.
This is the thing. This is why I think it's important to, first of all, ask the woman, because she might want to just be alone in her house, which especially during COVID has not happened for a lot of people in a long time. So maybe it's the partner taking the kids out and she has the whole house to herself. She might just lie on the couch and watch bad TV. That might be, she might, what I like to do is eat a bag of Cheetos and watch really bad TV. But you can also take your journal and a blanket and go out into nature to your favorite park or bench and really just journal on how you've been doing and what do you need now. We often live with tunnel vision, just getting through the day, checking things off our list. And when you have a journal and a little bit of space, I often find, especially in nature, and you just start to ask some bigger questions like, what do I need right now in my life? And you just write like stream of consciousness. That's when you can start doing bigger visioning of where you want your life to go, requests for support, what you need right now, versus just getting through the day.
Yeah, and I think just even normalizing that it's okay to want time alone, and that doesn't mean you're an introvert or you're depressed. I mean, I think a lot of people are like, oh, do you want to go? I don't want to leave you alone. What should I? And in fact, women might want to say, no, that's okay. I'm good. It's the one thing I never get to do.
Yes, exactly. And it's also the paradox of intimacy where we both really want connection and to be close, and we also really want space. And I think it's okay to name that, especially on Mother's Day. What I want is I want some time with my kids, really being sweet and connecting. And then I want some time away from my kids. And I think it's the more we kind of vocalize that, it starts to normalize it. Like, it's okay to want both.
Well, you went to Columbia and Stanford. I'm listening to you.
Well, thank you. And I outline a lot more of this in my book, which comes out in the fall. So that's a great way to learn more as well.
Terrific.
Yes, The Soul Solution, a guide for brilliant, overwhelmed women to quiet the noise and find their superpower and finally feel satisfied. And Vanessa, I want to let everyone know that we'll be talking on the streaming channel for Kara's Cures. We're going to get a little more in depth about why this is important, some of the science behind it, and just how you can start carving out some space in your life. So I invite everyone to join us on WFSB Plus for that. So thanks, Vanessa.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. All right. I might take a little space from people too. What do you think of that?
I think that everybody needs space.